Uh, so, friends, beside my usual talks on history, politics, I have been also vociferously telling about the emergence of AI and India's lack of indigenous software, technology, operating system. Now, today, something unprecedented, I repeat, bloodbath in stock market happened. So, first of all, I'm no regular investor, but today, whatever uh, happened, so today BSE Sensex is flat, but Nifty IT is almost 7 to 7 point, so almost 7% down. The same trend is on even in US, that Indian IT companies as well as global IT companies stock prices has been plummeting. The reason to be said that Anthropic has launched, they have launched some quick fix code AI agent that will replace overall marketing, IT, right? Small to medium kind of a complex jobs that most of the Indian IT services uh, you know got outsourced for the same jobs. Now, this video is just not confined within what do you call the stock prices and the future of Indian IT. And the reason that there will be a huge, so usually, Indian IT, which is a 5 years, 7 years, 3 years at least, multi-services deal, multi-million dollar deals, uh, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 employees are hired for that role, for that job, and usually on an average 12 to 14% margin, net operating margin, that IT services company used to earn. But within a few months, Indian IT services companies, they're firing people. Their margin is challenged. Most of the companies, their quarterly result, if you see, it's no longer that attractive. The future outlook is very bad, right? No longer this will be a multi-million dollar deal, because I'm not saying the IT industry will vanish, evaporate certainly, but the point I want to underscore is that there will be huge price pressure. Now the company will say, well, we are not going to shift to any open source Claude or Perplexity or you know, uh, you know, uh, OpenAI kind of agent for sure. But uh, the price point that you used to code based on hourly and based on this and based on 50 on-site engineers, 5,000 off-site engineers, I don't care. So as a client, I'm a banker. I want this should be the price point. Now, so the attractiveness of IT business is facing a question. That's the reason I'm making this video. Look, stock price can go up and down. That's not a news, right? But why? This has hit the fundamental of Indian IT as well as global IT. It's not only about the whole IT ecosystem has been hit hard. But the way I see this, I see AI is a weapon to the first world countries, and if not the countries, let me not make it a plural one. It's going to be a huge weapon of US to dominate an emerging economy like India. Now, we all know the AI crash. We all know well, the it's a bubble. But does it mean that the AI will vanish? No, AI won't vanish. Lot of AI companies, lot of AI agent, they will vanish, but the fundamental technology ecosystem of AI will prevail. So if I see why this is a bubble and why this bubble has been created, from 1990s, 1991, when the India gets into from a typically socialist economy or socialist business environment to a globalization, India's rise has been quite a steep. Very good. China has adopted the same path 12 years, 13 years before, even much before, during Dan Xiaoping's time. So, what PV Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh's time India gets into the globalization, India's rise has been quite attractive. And one of the major component of this rise is Indian IT system, where really a different class emerged called neo IT middle class. And this middle class, neo IT middle, which I am also a part of it, they have been the, you know, the backbone of Indian economy. Highest taxpayers, smart people, go to US, UK, comes back, glamorous lifestyle, two flats in Bangalore, one house in Calcutta, one big flat in Worli, Mumbai, one flat in, Delhi, right? So then the stock market emerges, the real estate emerges, etc., etc. Construction, private construction, I'm talking about majorly. So the way US sees this, that if at all we want to forget about China, they're very close to us. Even country like India has started emerging. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, India will challenge us, right? Very soon they are going to be third largest economy. Now, how to control it? If we hit their IT ecosystem, that IT ecosystem, which is a backbone of their economy by and large, right? Now, that has to be, hit hard in order to curb India's arm. Now, if you see this AI economy, which is a huge bubble. So, for example, Microsoft in investing into OpenAI, right? OpenAI, basically a name of the company whose LLM product is ChatGPT. We all know, we all use it. And OpenAI reverse, they, almost $15 billion or some huge chunk of $1 billion Microsoft invested. Microsoft is using also OpenAI into their some of the product. In contrast to that, OpenAI also gets, paying Microsoft billions and billions dollars for their, Azure cloud system. So it's a whole circular economy. Microsoft is, their balance sheet is growing. It looks wonderful, but it's all confined within few companies. Both this to Microsoft indirectly investing into Nvidia. Nvidia is again investing, purchasing a lot of product for their productivity from Microsoft, from OpenAI. So basically in the world, 5 to 6 big tech giants, they are playing this whole AI bubble, and they are doing this to control and to ruin India's IT power. This is the way I see the things. And it's also a huge challenge for a country like India to ratify, to rethink on their, IT policy, to certainly think about what should be the IT pricing strategy, what should be the India's competitive advantage. Every year, millions of graduates, they are passing with an engineering degree. They will no longer be, they don't require, forget about the talent and all, right? So when we were a student, there were, from West Bengal, there were hardly 5 to 6 big engineering colleges were there in West Bengal. There was no private college and institution. But certainly a changes happened within then West Bengal government. Buddhadev Bhattacharya started, investing into the private colleges in flux everywhere in nook and corner of, Calcutta, Salt Lake City, etc., etc. And whole IT ecosystem, TCS, we used to make a joke that after Indian Railway, TCS is the highest employer, right? But gone are those days. India should learn to be the power with its own indigenization, technology, operating system, uh, be it IT, be it AI, be it cyber security, be it military technologies everywhere. So, so we as an IT ecosystem, we fell a complete trap of this outsourcing model only. No longer it's required. Trust me, no longer the big multi-million dollar, $300 million, 7 years multi-services deal, Infosys bag of Bank of America will not happen at all. It's not supposed to happen. IT transformation, this, that, we banker everywhere, looking at their eyes, they could do. Probably even an AI agent can do. And the whole, if you see the cascading effect of this IT technology, even a teachers of the tertiary, education system are also, just for example, everyone. So I read a beautiful article, or perhaps I saw a beautiful YouTube video which says plumber will stay longer than lawyers. So if your profession by any means limited within laptop or studies, etc., rather than a hardcore, you know, hands-driven job, for example, plumbing, for example, cooking, for example, house, you know, house services and maintenance officer at hotel, they require absolutely a, hands-on jobs. If your job, if your study, everything entitled within the knowledge based economy, so called, if you are a white collar job holder, you are easily replaceable. That's the way I'm wearing a t-shirt with a blue collar. So there will be new emergence of a blue collar, people, like a plumber, like the carpenters, like the electrician. And deliberately this has been done to a emerging country like India, so that their whole IT ecosystem face challenges and there will be a huge cascading effect. So for example, let's say there is a history lecturer in a college in some part of Maharashtra or West Bengal or Haryana. People, last 20 years, how many graduate, very willingly come to learn, to study history? Almost zero. So why government will employ someone? Okay, he can start his own, tuition or some apps, etc. That will also slowly, will go, because if, as I have been using this OpenAI, Perplexity, Notebook LM, Google AI Studio, etc., I don't require perhaps any professor or lecturer. If I know how to use a Notebook LM, a Perplexity, Parallel.io, Claude Finance, I don't require any professor. I'm sorry to say it like this. Today, a student who wants to get into corporate world, he MBA is a use. It's a misuse of timing. When we were graduating, MBA has to be, if you want to get into the big glamorous IT companies or any banks or any other corporates, MBA was highly essential. MCA was highly essential if you want to be a coder. Today, no longer require. No, I repeat again, no longer required. You can access a very high quality Harvard business lecturer, etc. Today, even many facets of, what I should say, medical practitioners we don't require. So it happened to my own family. Last week, me and my wife, we had that annual pathological testing to check, etc. So what I did, I know open exploration is a tool that is one can use in US but not in India. So I uploaded my wife's pathological test reports, various facets of reports, and Google Gemini gave me a very comprehensive test report and what we need to do, what should be the food, how this was this, what are the problem, according to the age, according to the weight, according to the BMR rate. This are the thin red line. This is how it needs to grapple with. Usually this kind of a medicine, but please do consult with a physician, because in India it's a compliance. So today, if a doctor, we go and visit a doctor, 3 years back, 2 years back, we used to take this report to a doctor, consulting with him. Well, my BP is high. What should I do? Well, my blood sugar is in a borderline, etc. My weight is 75 kg, etc., etc. What should I? And doctor would say the same thing. Okay, go walk at least 2.5 kilometer per day morning. Please use, carbohydrate mixed with, what you call more green vegetable. Eat more green vegetable. The same thing is telling me Google Gemini. The day India opens this kind of a tool such as open exploration, we probably, for this kind of a reason, until and unless there is a heart attack, what should I do? We don't require a doctor. I'm sorry. We don't require a lawyer to know what is my case, how to do this, etc. Why we need a doctor? Why we need a lawyer? Because of compliance. I cannot move to, a high court. I cannot move to a session court without a law degree. That's a compliance issue. My AI chat tool will prepare me to present my case. But I won't be able to, because there is a compliance issue until and unless you are a member of the Bar Council with LLB and 5 years of experience. You won't become a, member of Bar Council. You won't. So that's a compliance issue. Apart from compliance issue, where that bloody lawyer will help me and he will earn money. Please understand what the doctor will earn. So the point I want to say is that India is facing this challenge predominantly because of two reasons. One, never thought about indigenous technology, indigenous operating system. Never grew the Indian domestic IT so that every time 90%, 60% to 90% of any this big Indian IT companies revenue comes from only one geo, which is NEMR, ideally US, not even Canada. Gone are those days. Prepare your children with adoption of more and more AI technologies. Please do not just push software engineers just to get a job into Infosys and this company. No longer needed. No longer needed. A good graduation with an open mind, with a research mind, can do miracle. The Anthropic AI agent that has really, caused this, bloodbath in IT stocks. The valuation, the probable valuation of Anthropic is $350 billion. $350 billion US dollar is much more than top 7 Indian IT's market capitalization, which is Indian IT's market capitalization, which is TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL Technologies, Tech Mahindra, LTI, Mindtree, right? So this kind of a Persistent Systems, this kind of a company's total market capitalization is far below than the valuation of Anthropic alone. See the power. So if you say, oh no, we won't use it, the same, the same kind of a parenting where you say don't watch movie, don't watch, mobile. Of course, keep a close eye on what your children are consuming, but please allow them to adopt these technologies much early. Today Perplexity, tomorrow maybe some other tool, day after tomorrow maybe. I learned many facets of mobile thing from my 9-year-old daughter. She's even smarter handling mini gaming and this apps and that apps. This should be the future. You cannot operate in 1950s and 60s, whenever, a movie will come with such a scene. No. If your children learn some bad words, they need to know where to reply it back, where to hold themselves. I studied in a boys' school in West Bengal, typically government boys' school. We used to abuse each other since fifth, fourth standard. But did we repeat the same thing in our houses? No. So we had that interest. What to say what? Why not? This is what emotional question. Allow them. No, the world will be very, very harsh for the. I mean, I really sometimes as a parent and also as an Indian, I think our first professional experience in life, 20 years of professional life, has been almost bed of roses than compared to this generation. Thank you.